So this federal employee shared their experience with the group when we were going through this training, this workshop. And I want to share some of that with you, right? Because I've talked about when you first go into retirement. Now, let's back up just a little bit here and just go over that process again. When you do retire, no matter what day of the month you retire in, we typically recommend the last day of the month. But let's say you retire any day of the month, right? We're in October. Let's say you retire any day in October. When is your effective retirement date? If you thought or said November 1st, you'd be correct. So no matter what day you retire during any month, your effective retirement date is the first of the following month. Then your first paycheck should come to you the first of the month after that. So in this case, if I retire on any day in October, my effective retirement date is November 1st. My first paycheck, retirement paycheck, should come December 1st. Now, what happens when you get that paycheck? Currently, federal employees are being thrown into what's known as interim pay or interim pay status. And that's where you're going to get about 60, 70% of what you should be getting initially. And that will last for a period of time. And then they will make you into or put you into full pay status and back pay you everything that they should have been paying you along the way. Now, the problem with that is that's a perfect scenario, right? This federal employee shared their experience saying it took 120 days or about 4 months to get his first interim paycheck. Think about that. So this person retired December 31st recently, right? So let's just say December 31st of last year, and it took them 4 months to get their first interim paycheck. Okay, so that was May 1st. So December 31st should have been effective date January 1st, first paycheck February 1st. It took until May 1st, 4 months of not getting paid, January, February, March, April, and May 1st was the first interim paycheck. And interim pay was not the full amount that this person should have gotten paid. So not only was the delay in getting paid longer than normal, but the first check wasn't even full pay status. So typically, I've seen federal employees get an interim pay for 3 to 6 months. The worst case that I saw was 12 months. That was a specific, unique situation with an FAA employee, and they were in interim pay status for 12 months before getting their full pay. In this case, and this is the first time I was hearing something like this, so I just want to share this experience with you so you can be aware, especially if you're going to be retiring at the end of the year, this year, or just at any point in time within the next several months, and you're planning on this, be prepared. Be prepared for this kind of situation, right? What if you don't get paid for 4 months? Are you prepared for that financially? Do you have extra money saved up? Do you have that annual leave that you should be getting a lump sum check with, or are you using it all? Do you have reserves? If not, then you might have to be pulling from your TSP to make up for lost time. So just want to make you aware of that. This is a real life situation where a federal employee retired December 31st, was supposed to get paid their first check February 1st, and that did not come. That first interim paycheck did not come until May 1st. So this was a big concern with the folks that were in the training, is saying, woo, I don't want to be caught, with my situation and not getting paid and not knowing that this is what can come down. So now they have at least some time to prepare, some time to be ready for this so that when the time does come, you may be able to mitigate it a little better than this person was, because nobody warned this particular person that this might happen. So I'm not warning you to say, hey, this is what's going to happen, but just understand it could. So I talk about your future self a few months down the road, if you're going to retire at the end of the year, is going to be thanking you for preparing today or over preparing today, if in fact you actually do get paid your first check when you should on February 1st, right? If you retire at the end of the year. So just understand this caused a big concern in the room and a number of other questions that came up, like, what is the interim pay thing? And I didn't know about this, or I didn't know about that. Then we shifted over to ensuring that your paperwork is is filled out correctly. Now, when you fill out the online application, if you're going that route, it should make sure that everything is check marked or everything is selected or everything is filled out before you submit it. But if you're still doing paper, if they allow you to do it, like postal employees are filling out and I say in quotes, the blue book, because I know they've changed it from, printing it in blue to now it's just in black and white. But the old school blue book, if you're filling that out, you want to ensure that that's filled out correctly. So talking to an expert, somebody that can help you or walk you through that to ensure you don't make any mistakes. Because if it's still being handled by an individual person and they're going through that paperwork and something's incorrect and they've got a big pile of papers on their desk, I'm not saying they do this from personal knowledge, but I know if it were me, you put that in a pile, you say, I'm going to work on that one later. I'm going to go to the next one, see if it's filled out properly. It could delay your process. You want to ensure that it's filled out correctly. You also want to ensure that you get it in plenty of time. I normally recommend 2 months. If you're going to retire at the end of the year, maybe you're getting it in 3 months. We're already past that, but get it in as soon as you possibly can, especially if you're going to retire in the near future, because there's going to be an influx of retirement applications generally at the end of the year. So this was a big concern that the people in the room, the people that were planning on retiring in the near future, and some even said, well, you know what, my retirement date is kind of fluid. I might push it off a few months so I can properly prepare, so I can save up some more dollars, especially if I'm going to go maybe 3-4 months without getting paid at all from the day that I separated service. So understand that that's what has gone on. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but it could, because it happened to another federal employee. They were not anticipating this. So if you can prepare properly, if you can hear what I'm saying and talk to other colleagues or former colleagues that have recently retired and see what their situation was like and learn from what they've done. Thank you for watching the Federal Retirement Show. If you like this clip, make sure you subscribe, get notified whenever we have new content. We look forward to seeing you each and every week on the Federal Retirement Show. So hope you found this information helpful. I hope you found this episode helpful. As I said earlier, we have over 150 now episodes. You can go back and you can view all of our content. There's something in there for everybody. So there's a lot of information for you to dive through and a lot of things that hopefully you can get your questions answered just by viewing our previous episodes. Again, my name is Val Majewski with American Benefits Exchange. It's been a joy and a pleasure to bring this episode to you today. You've been watching the Federal Retirement Show and look forward to seeing you on a future episode.